For the latest film interviews, reviews, and everything making news in pop culture, subscribe to Film Companion now.
Director Ranjit Tiwari's new film Bell Bottom is based on the true events of Indian intelligence agency RAW's first covert operation on foreign soil, following the terrorist hijacking of a passenger flight in 1984, which was supposedly masterminded by the ISI. At this time, hijackings of Indian flights is all too common. It's the 7th one in the last 5 years, we're told. To tackle the crisis at hand, Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, who's played by Lara Dutta buried in prosthetics, assembles her top officials. As the inept government agency heads squabble and pass the buck amongst themselves, a senior RAW official played by Adil Hussain tells them there's only one man who can save the day, an expert analyst who specializes in hijacking cases. Cue the hero's swagged up slow motion entrance. Anshul Malhotra, aka codename Bell Bottom, who's of course played by Akshay Kumar, is that savior. Before joining RAW, 32-year-old Anshul was already something of a prodigy. His long list of accolades includes being a teacher of German and French and a national chess champion. He's just ideal human brain goals, basically. After he loses his own mother to a hijacking, he's recruited by RAW to help put a stop to the crisis. And within 5 years, he becomes their go-to hijacking espionage expert. For this latest threat, the terrorists in question have the flight and its passengers held hostage on a runway in Dubai, where Anshul and his team must go to conceive and coordinate a covert operation to somehow capture the terrorists and save the hostages while on foreign soil without any bloodshed, all while keeping the local authorities and Pakistani government in the dark. It's a riveting story which perfectly lends itself to a slick espionage thriller. And yet, while Bell Bottom is for the most part a decently executed and coherent film, director Ranjit Tiwari and writers Asim Arora and Parvez Sheikh failed to give it that much needed dose of nail-biting tension that a story like this deserves. The kind that differentiates a competent movie from a compelling one. And while it may be based on a true story, how it's told feels far too familiar. We've seen these elements before and done better in Akshay Kumar's own previous films. While it's about navigating multiple authorities in a race against time to get all the passengers out alive, Bell Bottom doesn't have the scale or slick execution of Raja Krishna Menon's Airlift. While it's about conducting covert operations on foreign soil, it doesn't have the edge-of-your-seat tension or thrilling action of Neeraj Pandey's Baby, or the joys of watching a carefully crafted plan come together like Special 26. If Bell Bottom were a Hollywood movie, the entire runtime would be dedicated to the nerve-wracking events of the hijacking itself and how it unfolds. But, of course, this is a mainstream Hindi movie, so the real story only really kicks in the second half, with the first half dedicated to building up the legend of our hero, his backstory and his rise to super agent. And of course, there's also the customary romantic track with his wife played by Vaani Kapoor, which includes an unnecessary and lazily short love song. The multiple hijacking scenes through the film are poorly staged and at points just laughable. At some point during the flight, the three terrorists, all seated separately with synchronized digital watches, have their alarms go off and immediately swing into action by aggressively prancing up and down the aisles, screaming hijack at the top of their voices. All of this while one of them demands that all passengers hand over any sharp objects they have, such as nail cutters, which I have to say had me in splits. So note to self, next time you're on a flight and you see a watch alarm go off, you better whip out a nail cutter fast. It's also hard not to compare these scenes to the stellar hijacking sequences of Ram Madhvani's atmospheric achievement Neerja. Unlike in Bell Bottom, there you could feel the exhaustion and psychological trauma of this ordeal in the air. And even outside the aircraft, the action scenes, like the writing, are serviceable but never quite remarkable. But despite it being a tad ridiculous, I did enjoy the finalist terrorist takedown sequence which takes place during a sandstorm. As the main man, codenamed Bell Bottom, Akshay Kumar is what he always is, the righteous, supremely capable savior. It's a fitting performance, but nothing we haven't seen from him before in other movies where he's had more conviction, and none of the other performances in the film particularly stand out or stick with you. But Zain Khan Durrani proves to be a worthy adversary as the cold, calculating terrorist mastermind. Impressive prosthetics aside, I also quite enjoyed watching Lara Dutta's commanding presence as Mrs. Gandhi. Elsewhere, unsurprisingly, the other female characters have little impact. And both Vaani Kapoor as Anshul's wife and Huma Qureshi as a fellow RAW aide are poorly written with nothing to do. As a lazy attempt to give them more depth and dimension, both characters are given weird, strange twists in their arcs which either make no sense or are just plain silly. And of course, once again, it has to be said that a star of Akshay Kumar's age has a much younger actress playing his wife. To put it into perspective, if the age difference between them was a person, it could legally drink and drive at this point. And of course, even though it's based on a true story, once again, Pakistan is the real enemy. Even though the writers include a feeble line which has Akshay Kumar's character say something to the effect of, "I don't blame the people of Pakistan, it's just a few bad apples that are trying to attack our country." In the end, somewhere buried within Bell Bottom are the building blocks of a great thriller. It's just shrouded in simplistic storytelling and hijacked by the pressures of the big Hindi movie formula. But on the flip side, I got to go back to the big screen after almost 2 years, and damn, have I missed going to the movies. You can watch Bell Bottom at a theatre near you. You know, depending on the specific restrictions of the city and country you're in right now. I can't believe you have to say that after everything now.